Hey, I'm Pastor Vern, and I'm here to talk about shifting the culture within worship. I hope you're ready to dive in. Let's start with the problems that we face when it comes to worship, the culture of worship. One, we isolate ourselves. We'll talk shortly of how that is played out and what happens and what we should do to fight that. But two, when we isolate ourselves, what sometimes we do is we go into this self-glorification, like we are better than someone else, that we know wiser than God. But here's the other culture issue that we have, and that's trying to blend two things, or trying to worship God and other things at the same time. Well, let's deal with the issue of isolation. One, the Bible is very clear in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25, that we should not neglect the gathering of the saints. We should make it a habit. But then also, what you see is in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 19, is that we should speak well of one another, but in songs, hymns, and spiritual songs. We should encourage one another to lift up and glorify God. We should give thanks to Him. Why? Because He's worthy of it. Here it is. The Bible is very clear in Psalms 34 that I will bless the Lord. The part I love is it's at all times, that we shouldn't stop praising Him, that every moment of our lives, whether we are corporate or isolated or doing our individual things, God is supposed to be praised at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul will make its boast in the Lord. The humble will hear and be glad. This is the part that joins you with the rest of those who have been saved. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. I pray that you would see that isolation is not an option for us, but that we are called to come together and magnify the Lord together. That self-glorification should never be an idea for us, but all glory and honor belong to God. And that we should see that no one else deserves the praise but our God. For He's the only one who can do what He has done. He's the only one who has given us Jesus Christ, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, would suffer under Pontius Pilate, would be crucified, would die and be buried, but on the third day would raise from the dead with all power. That God deserves all glory, all honor, and all praise. How will you fight the feeling? How will you fight what culture is trying to tell you, that you need to glorify yourself, that you need to isolate yourself from God's people? How will you fight? You shall fight with a continual praise on your lips to the God of your salvation. May we shift culture in this way, specifically in who and what we worship. All glory belongs to God and no one else. I pray that as we go through this culture shifting year, that we would see that praise should always be on our lips. For and to our gracious God. I love you. See you soon.